Hi Tubies, here's Alexandra and welcome to another video. Well, today we will have a tutorial, but not to paint an entire miniature. This is a tutorial to show off a technique that you can use to paint your miniatures, especially vehicles and Imperial Knights and stuff. So what I'm talking about is stippling. Here I can show you an example how this looks like when it is applied correctly. As you can see, stippling is a nice method to highlight large areas of armor panels, like here on an armiger, for example, without using an airbrush. So if you're not proficient in wet blending or good in layering or feathering or all those types of stuff, maybe stippling is the way to go for you. This is a quite easy to learn method, but you need special brushes for that. So how it is done? Well, as a brush you need something quite soft, like this one here. This is an Art Deco makeup brush. You can find them in all kinds of sizes, like this one here. You see this, the bristles are quite soft, and you need this softness for this technique. What you also need is a big piece of paper, like with all the dry brushing you normally do. I'm showing this off today on a piece of armor from a blight drone, as you can see here. And well, we will go with green tones instead of reds, but you can apply this method with every color. So what I've done previously is simply prime it black, and then I've gone over it with a Vallejo Game Extra Opaque heavy green. And well, this is just the base coat to work with. Then we will use a wet palette. You don't have to use a wet palette, but in my humidity and temperature, summer temperatures right now, this is the way to go. As you can see, as my wet palette, I'm using a simple tray from the GW Static Grass Tufts, and this is actually a quite nice box that you can use for your wet palette. Here's the closed lid, and the wet palette itself consists of a sponge here underneath that is wet, and you have some baking paper on it, and that way your colors stay moist. So at first we use now a mixture out of this heavy green, and we use here this Zombicide color from Army Painter. This is a mixture to make a nice olive green, but you can go with any lighter olive green color. This is not something totally special. So put some on the palette, then some from this. There we go. Mix that right up. You can see there our mix. Let's get rid of the other brushes, they're in the way constantly. There we go. So what you do now, after you've cleaned your mixing brush, we don't want to ruin this one, you take your brush and dip the tip of the brush in the paint like this, and then we will, just like with dry brushing, we will wipe off the most excess paint, and then we will simply dab with the tip of the brush very gently the armor plates, and as you can see, it will leave little stipples of paint behind. And the more we go over an area, the more intense it will become. See? So stipple again into the paint, wipe it off, and then we will continue with the rest of the armor plates. Don't worry if you get it on other parts of the miniature. Well, we will definitely overpaint them later. And if no color comes off again, well, just pick up some more paint, wipe it off, and continue. And every time you hit the first time after you have grabbed your paint, make it super gentle, that you can see and feel how much paint is on the bristles and how hard you can dab the surface. So, there we go. And layer 1 is done. So now we will put into the paint even more of the brighter one. There we go. Wipe off the excess. And then this time, with a second layer now, we will focus on an area that is more in the middle. So we will leave this area here now behind. And stipple more in this area. So like here, a little bit more there. A little bit on top there. So you can make it as intense as you prefer. So now this color needs a little bit more brightness, and for that we'll go with some bone color. So with each step you go brighter and brighter in the colors, just like you would normally highlight a miniature, just like that. So wiping off the excess. And dip, yeah, that's okay. So that way we'll step by step generate a color transition. That is very gentle. If you remember, I have shown you a similar technique with back in the day painting cockpit glass. This is also a way to use that. So now we will take pure skeleton bone. Too much. There we go. And voila, we are done. And as you can see, this gives now a really nice texture to the surface and is highlighting it. From this point on, you can now start to well, paint the rest of the miniature. Of course, you can with some washes increase the darkness here of the spots, also here these wounds, then make edge highlighting around these things and increase this, then paint this here like rust with some washes and such. And well, I hope you like this little stippling tutorial. I hope to see some stippled Titans and Armigers and Nurgle vehicles in the future, because I have searched far and wide in the entirety of YouTube and there isn't any stippling tutorials, and now there are. So, until the next video, you're Alexandra. See you!